Okay everyone, so today I'm going to go over how to copy trade and find profitable wallets as a beginner. So without further ado, let's jump into it. The first question is, of course, how do you copy trade? And this is the most important, and I think the best and most reliable option there is with Trojan, which you can find in the top link of the video description. Open that, it'll start setting you up with Trojan, go through those simple steps of creating your wallet, and then supplying your wallet with Solana, which you can send over via the Phantom app, the Coinbase app, or anything like that. And then once your wallet and Trojan account has Solana in it, you are ready to begin. So now your screen is going to look like this, and I think the most important thing to do at this stage is to go into the settings of Trojan to get everything set up. So click that button. You will now be presented with this. If you don't see this, that's because you're on simple mode, which then you'll see something like this. So go down to the bottom here, click advanced, and now we are seeing the exact same thing once it goes through. So there we go. So what you want to do here is make sure you have the turbo check marked. This is, I think, the best option for your gas fees here. And buy settings, these are not very important as we're not really buying anything. We are copy trading. Sell settings, similarly not as important, but I will show you what I use. So if you are trying to purposely sell the coins that have been copy bought, then you can sell them at a 50% or 100%, and my sell slippage here is at a 10%. So that's what I use. You can obviously change that to your liking, and a lot of these Trojan settings will definitely be dependent on how risky you are and how exactly you want to play as you learn. So I keep MEV off on the buys and the sells. That is a little risky, but it has been working for me. I have auto buy turned off, and for auto sell, I have one thing set up, and that is my crazy setup. Now what this does is basically once I get a 1000% gainer, if that does happen, it'll automatically sell 90% of my holding just because I want to leave 10% left if it can run to 2,000 or 10,000%, right? So I have that there just in case it ever happens and the wallet that I'm copy trading does not sell it. I want to make sure I'm getting out a 1,000%. And right there, I've got my slippage on 30%, and it will expire 10 days once that starts. Of course, you can set this to be, 20 years if you'd like. It doesn't really matter. And to set that up, just simply click plus new. And then for the orders, make sure you click add. Now right here, you could also, as a pro tip, you can type -50%, and it'll automatically recognize that is a stop loss, and it'll change your take profit to a stop loss here. So you can do that if you'd like, but if you're mostly going for that crazy setup, you just simply type in 1000%. As you can see, it takes it back to a take profit. And then for your amounts, you are wanting to sell 90% of your bag. And then at that point, you can change your expiration to 10 days like I had it. Slippage can be 10, 15, 30%, whatever you want. Let's just say 10% here. And then you are good to go. Moving on, I have confirmed trades on, P&L values on, chart previews off because I personally don't like seeing them. And then that is more or less it. Vault is turned on, and that's all you really need for the settings. If you have any other questions about these settings, feel free to comment them down below, and I will try my best to answer them, or someone in the community can answer them as well. So now that we've gotten all of the settings good to go, we can start getting a wallet to copy trade, and to do that, we have to leave Trojan for now and go over to the Odin Discord. This Discord is free to join, and once you do join, you want to go down to the hashtag Odin's Alpha channel, and in here, every single day are free profitable wallets that you can sort through and find ones that you'd like to copy trade. As you can see, there are quite a lot of these wallets here. Now, just because they say they're profitable wallets does not mean you should just take all of these and start copy trading them. You will get wrecked, you will get destroyed. What you want to do is start doing the research on every single wallet here. So what I like to do is take the wallets from Odin's Alpha and plug them into GMGN, one at a time of course, and then check out what the profile looks like here. So as you can see, the profit and loss is quite substantial. The win rate is solid at 67.39%. And if you're scrolling down looking at their recent P&L, you can see they're playing a lot of Pump Fun tokens. This red triangle means that these coins have never made it through the bonding curve over on Pump Fun, which means they never made it to Radium, and thus you cannot see them on Deck Screener. And these are very, very risky coins to play. So for a lot of you out there as a beginner, this is probably a sign to not copy this wallet. To look even deeper though, you can change the USD button here to SOL, and then come to this middle tab. So you can see on average, when they are buying into a coin, they like to spend 3.93 SOL. Now that's a little high, but it's not too bad. What we should always do is compare this number to the SOL balance. And if you notice, their SOL balance is next to nothing, which means this account is now a dead account and is no longer going to be usable to copy trade. So once you notice that, it is super important to go find another wallet because the one you were just looking at is completely worthless to you. Here is another example of a different wallet through the Odin's Alpha channel. Very good P&L, very good win rate, and if we check out that same number here, they trade with 0.316 SOL, and they currently have over 8 SOL, which is really, really good. Now, one thing I like to do, and you don't have to do this, is I like to click on this little holdings tab right here and then see how many coins are they holding. Because if I'm copy trading them, I don't want to be left holding the bag, and I want the coins to be sold and taken away from me. So they have a lot of coins on here. Not all of them are losers, but a lot of them are. And if we're checking out those losers, negative 62%, negative 10%, negative 18%, there's a chance they couldn't sell these because there was no liquidity in the coins that they were buying, which means we could never sell them, thus meaning that negative 62% really means negative 100% because that money is gone forever at that point. And while they're holding a lot of winners, I don't love that, and I'll explain why. I don't love it because when you are looking at these wallets, there's an important factor to look at, and that is the hold time of each individual coin. And sometimes wallets that know they're looking at being copy traded like to hold things for a very, very, very long time to artificially inflate that time. So let's move on from this to go over to Flexar to show you that in action. So taking the same wallet, we're gonna paste this into the wallet checker, click check now, and then this spits out a ton of information for us. It could be overwhelming, so the main 3 things you really want to look for are the success rate, 71%, the median ROI, this is much more important than anything else here, 52%. I like seeing over 50%, so pretty solid there. And then last but not least, the hold time, which for this account is 19 minutes, which again, could be really high because of how many coins they're holding, artificially inflating that number. Now, the reason why the hold time is so important is because if you're copy trading someone, you don't want them to buy a coin and you copy trade, and then they sell it 5 to 7 seconds after you have bought it, because that means they are using you as their exit liquidity because they know people are copy trading them. So another way to really make sure that they're not doing that is click on the activity tab here on GMGN and then just monitor it yourself. So we can see they bought SHDZ at 140407 and then sold it for a tiny profit at 1809.53. So that's great. I love to see that. That's multiple hours of a hold. Now, that's not the only coin you should check. You should check every single one for a decent bit of time. Maybe go back to like the last 10 coins, check it, look at those timestamps, see how often they trade within a few seconds. Like for example, Elon's cat, 1758.48, and they sold it at 1759.50. So basically an entire minute passed, which may be longer than a few seconds, but is still something I don't like to see when I'm copy trading. Now, another thing you could do if you are wanting to see the actual chart of how they buy and how they hold, you could copy right here next to the coin you want to check out, go to Dex Screener. It's going to look like this screen right here. So go over to Solana, click on any coin you want to, and then replace the coin address in the URL with the coin address you just copied, paste that in, and then from there you want to go to the maker area here, click on this little like filter, this little, I don't even know what to call that honestly, and then from here you go back, copy the wallet you were looking at, and then paste that into the maker, hit apply, and now you can see all of the buys and sells of that specific account. So they sold on this giant spike, don't love that whatsoever. And then if we go back even further, again, I'm on the 1 minute chart here, so considering they bought this a long time ago, it's not going to be as beautiful. Sometimes you'll see like buy and then like 50 sells afterwards on an upwards trend. That's a very nice thing to see. So this is more or less kind of what you want to see, a really early buy at the bottom and then a slow scaling out selling upwards towards the top and then fully getting out. Of course, this account eventually went back in, and they did make some money, but again, it was on a giant spike. So everything that I've seen about this specific wallet, I don't really like, but you may be different than me, and this could be really appealing to you. Now, one last thing you can do is take the wallet and bring it over to WalletX. In WalletX, you can do /check, and then hit space, and then paste the wallet address, hit enter, and this will check the wallet for you and spit out an entire list of information with a lot of detail in it. All right, there we go. So you can see it is tagged as a scalper. I don't personally like that. You'll see the balance, the assets, and then their performance. So they have a 50% win rate with a negative 0.31% median ROI. So again, a big red flag right there. And you can see so many things on WalletX, all of the transaction data, their average and median hold duration, which is super cool to see over here on WalletX. A little list of seeing when they've won, when they've lost in certain days. And then a really important thing to look at is their unique tokens and where they've made their money. So from the mad emoji down, you don't want to see large percent numbers there. You especially don't want to see large percent numbers on the poop emoji, because that means they are losing next to everything in that trade. Preferably, you want to see a large majority of the percent in the dollar emoji or the flying dollar emoji. This one is really good to see a high percentage in, because that means on average you should be winning if you're copy trading them. Other flags to look for are pre-sales, pump fund, because some people are just not wanting to trade pump fund. This account obviously does that a lot. If they've sold before they bought, if they didn't buy, and if they've been sniping the coin. So any and all red flags are just important to keep note of. Again, for pump fund, do you want to play it? If you do, then that doesn't matter. If you don't, this is super important to see. Sniping, and this is a big one, you never want to follow a sniper, so if you see a very large number here next to snipes, you should avoid it at all costs. If you'd like a more in-depth video on finding profitable wallets, including me showing wallets that I think are good, you can check out the channel, and I've got a lot of videos going over that. But let's say, for example, this is a good wallet and you do want to copy trade it. You go back over to Trojan, click on copy trade, and then click on new, because you'll have nothing here. From here, you can tag the wallet, so you can call it Alpha 1, you can call it Goat 1, anything like that. Let's just stick to, for our purposes, let's stick to test 1 right here. For the target wallet, that's going to be the wallet you're looking to copy, so paste it in there. For your buy percent, I don't like doing 100%, because that means if they are trading 10 SOL every trade and your account only has 5 SOL in it, you will simply trade your entire account per every copy trade, and that's not good for a variety of reasons, the biggest of which being you need Solana in your account to sell, as you'll see right here with these gas fees. So click on buy percentage. And then if you're testing the wallet, I think 0.2 is really good, or 0.1 if you want to really be risk-free and just kind of follow them a little bit while attempting to go for those 1000% gainers. I think that is perfectly fine to do. However, please note that if you are trading with 0.1, you have to factor in the buy gas and the sell gas, especially if the account sells a lot by scaling out, because for every sell, you will get charged this gas fee. So lately, I've been rocking 0.0075 on the buy and the sell. I believe that is default because of my turbo that we have clicked on via the settings. Although for some wallets, I like to change them to 0.01, as I'll just show you, 0.01 right there. That allows you to copy it just a tad bit faster, although I really do feel that the turbo setting, which is 0.0075, is still very good, and for the majority of you as beginners, is a solid starting point. Similarly, with slippage, this can come with a lot of upsides and downsides, but I think as a beginner, it's super important to play with 30% slippage or lower. Essentially, what slippage means, to my understanding, is let's say the wallet you're copying traded a coin that is currently valued at $1, and it spikes to $1.30. Because their slippage is set to 30%, it'll still try and buy that. But if the price jumps up to $1.40, your slippage will exceed and it will not buy it. Or on the flip side, the $1 will go down to 0.70 cents and it'll still try to buy it, but if it goes down to 0.60 cents, that is above 30, which means it will not buy it. I hope that made sense, but I still think 30 or lower is good for beginners. Let's click on advanced features right here. You want to make sure that duplicate buys is turned off. You do not want someone to drain your account by buying 16 times in a row. For the rest of this, it really does come down to personal preference. This is what I tend to use, except for AutoSell here, you need to make sure you click this and then select your AutoSell profile that you set up if you do want that to turn on. So we'll click Crazy, and now you just simply click Add, and just like that, finally, you are done. You are officially copy trading your first wallet, and hopefully it is a good wallet that will make you some profit. So if you enjoyed this video, definitely subscribe, and of course, make sure you use that top link in the description to get Trojan set up. It's also a referral link, so I really do appreciate that. But without further ado, comment down any other questions or video ideas you'd like to see, and I will talk to you in my next video.